Midwest Box Trucking back with a quick thank you video, okay? Man, I appreciate all of the love, everybody that's subscribing, liking, commenting, providing valuable information to the channel as well. Man, I appreciate you guys. I really do. And initially I set out and I said, I'm gonna do a video on 5 tips to a successful start with Amazon Relay. And I said, man, you know what? The channel been growing, people been supporting me, I feel the love. I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys the whole scoop. So scratch the 5 tips. I'm gonna do 10 tips to a successful start with Amazon Relay. I should charge y'all for this. I might call it a course. So you guys pay attention, and I've completed my 5th trip with Amazon Relay. So, I've had a couple hiccups, and that's kind of why I'm making this video, to help you guys, avoid a couple of the mistakes that I made, initially. So we're going to get into it. First and foremost, number 1, arrive 45 minutes to 1 hour before your scheduled pickup time at every new facility you book a load at. Every new facility, your first time there, arrive 45 minutes to 1 hour early. Each facility has a different check-in procedure. Okay, I went through 3 check-ins, just providing my identification, my load number, and my plate number. The 4th location, which was a 6-stop run, I was allowed past the check-in gate to dock my truck, enter the facility, get to the check-in turnstile, and realize I needed to go back out past check-in to the front of the facility to get a badge, okay? So, with that being said, every facility has a different check-in process, okay? The time you're taking to go back out to the front of the facility, to get back in line behind other trucks to come back in you're going to be late. It may sound like it's just 15 minutes. If you were on time, after you get that badge, you're going to be late. So with that being said, arrive 1 hour, at least 45 minutes before your scheduled pickup time at every new facility you book a load at. Okay, I can't stress that enough. I went through, like I said, 3 runs, and the 4th one, my first 6-stop trip, boom, I had to go back out and get a badge. So it threw different things into a tailspin, which I'll address in a later video. I'm going to do a whole video on that process. But 45 minutes to 1 hour early at each new facility you book a load at. Okay. Number 2, ask the gate attendant at the check-in guard shack, is there somewhere else you need to go to get a badge at each new facility you book a load at? Okay, after you arrive early, when you get to the check-in gate, ask the guard before you proceed to go dock your truck, is there somewhere else I need to go to get a badge for access? And like I said, do this at every new facility you book a load at. You don't want to get into the yard, dock your truck, and realize you have to leave back out and go get a badge. So ask the check-in attendant about the badge process. That'll save you a whole lot of time. Number 3, check your email frequently. Okay, and I can't stress this enough. If you have a 5-stop run and you're late for the first stop, you'll likely be late for the second stop. Okay? Just think about it. If you're late getting to a stop and you have to unload and get back rolling, you're probably going to be late to the next one. With that being said, Amazon Relay's app is not smart. It will email you for each stop you're late to. It requires you to resolve each email it sends you. So with that being said, if you have a 5-stop run, you're going to get 5 late emails. It will not accept 2. It won't accept 3. The one you miss will be the one that hits your performance score. So with that being said, if you have a 5-stop run, you need to be checking your email each stop. I know it sounds crazy. You driving, you trying to be safe, you watching a GPS, you watching the time, and then you have to watch your email. It's almost like a setup. But I'm just telling you what has to happen. If you have 3 stops and you're late for the first one, you'll probably be late for the other 2. You'll probably receive 3 late emails that you need to resolve while completing your trips. So with that being said, I'm just going to, tell you, check your email frequently, which leads into my 4th Amazon Relay tip. Okay. Report delays in advance. If you're heading to a location for a pickup or a drop off and you realize you're going to be late, go into the Relay app. They have a section where you hit your trip and you can select report delay. Okay. And in advance, you can go in and say, hey, I'm going to be 30 minutes late. I'll arrive at this time. And the reason for this delay could be, hey, you had a delay at the last stop. So whatever the reason is, you put that in and provide that, information to the Relay app. That will, stop the chain reaction emails for each trip. So if you can report delays in advance, that'll save you, like I said, a hit to your performance score. If you realize you're going to be late, go ahead and report it to the app immediately, and then you won't receive the email that will cause you to maybe overlook it, and then you end up in a situation where now you've ended up with a hit on your performance score. So with that being said, report delays in advance, okay? And that's going to lead into my 5th tip, which is going to be for your first, I'm going to say 2 weeks, choose 2 stops only, okay? And the reason being is what I just explained to you. If you get to a facility, you get kicked out to go get a badge, you come back in, now you're loading late, you're late for your first stop, it's going to be a domino effect. You're going to eventually end up late for your second stop, then your third stop, then your 4th stop, and you miss one of those emails, and boom, you just got a hit on your performance score. And if it's multiple stops, 9 times out of 10 is going to the post office, which means you'll be operating the lift gate, in and out the truck, pulling the pallet jack, maneuvering through doors. So with all of that stuff being said, you may miss a email. So to avoid that and make stuff simple, for you to succeed, I would choose 2 stops only, at least for my first 2 weeks. And after that, if you feel comfortable, then go ahead and move into 3 and 4 stops. Those trips honestly pay more the more stops you do. But at the same time, they require more diligence. You need to be paying attention to what you're doing, the way you're moving, the time frame, what time you're arriving all of that. So with that being said, choose 2 stops only for your first 2 weeks and go from there. And my 6th Amazon relay tip is going to be come dressed and prepared for a workout. People don't tell you this. Amazon relay is physically challenging. Like I just said, at some of the post office stops, you're pulling pallets out of the truck onto the lift gate, letting the lift gate down, dragging the pallets off of the lift gate onto the dock area through small doors, squeezing and pushing. And so with that being said, I've completed 5 trips and I'm already seeing like a physical, change in my, muscle tone and different stuff of that nature. Amazon relay is physically challenging. So come dressed and prepared for a workout. Don't come thinking you can just mosey your way through this. You can, but you're going to be late. I'm just telling you, like, you can mosey your way through it and take your time, and you're going to be late to your stop and ended up getting a flag, on your performance score. And that's what it's all a performance score game. That's what it seems like you're playing here. It's just kind of like a big performance score game. So one little mess up and stuff just got real. So with that being said, come dressed and prepared for a workout. And my 7th Amazon relay tip is going to be immediately after you gain access to a facility, ask one of the shipping attendants or the dock workers for a key or instructions on how to operate the dock plate. Some require a key, which the attendants have. Others require a specific set of or sequence of button functions to make it operate. And you can be standing there for 5 to 10 minutes trying to figure out how to operate a particular dock plate, which is once again different from the dock plate at the last facility that you were at. So with that being said, when you enter the facility, find the dock attendant and find out if you need a key or what is the functions of the box to operate the dock plate. And just a tip, when you're doing this, you also might want to ask if they can show you how to work the tap to scan feature on the Relay app. When you are doing these loads, you have to scan each pallet, okay? This can be tricky. The app may act weird, okay? The tap to scan feature may not be readily available. You may need to actually go in and find it. Your first time, this may take some time. So when you're getting assistance with the dock plate and the box operation, go ahead and say, hey, I'm new. This is my first trip. I've never operated the app. Can you show me how to scan each pallet? If they took the time to show you how to work the dock plate and the box, I'm sure they'll take the time to show you how to work the tap to scan feature, which can cost you, a considerable amount of time. So I will go ahead and, like I said, ask for instructions on the dock plate, the box, and the tap to scan feature, because you're also going to have to scan the door in which you're loading up at. So once again, if you ask the attendant, they'll show you all of that. It's kind of hard to explain without the app just sitting here in my face. So I can't just verbally tell you guys how to operate it. That's why I would immediately find an attendant to, instruct you on the app and the functions there at the dock. So that's my 7th tip. And then my 8th tip is going to be The app has glitches. Okay, so if you have a situation where it's showing a incorrect trip, which I encountered, or you aren't seeing the begin work tab, which I've encountered because it was showing the incorrect trip. It was wanting me to begin work for the incorrect trip. So, with that being said, the app has glitches. It's not perfect. It's just like any other app, So, if you run into an issue where it's showing you your wrong trip or it is not allowing you to begin work, don't keep messing around with the app. Go ahead and sign out, wait about 3 minutes and sign back in. If that doesn't work, I would delete the entire app, reinstall it, and sign back in. And that should correct any issues that you're having with it displaying the incorrect trip, or you're not seeing the begin work tab, which allows you to start communicating with the app for the particular trip that you're on. So sign out, sign in. If that doesn't work, delete, reinstall, sign back in. I actually had to do this to get the app to act right. Through 2 trips, it just continuously acted weird. So I eventually had to delete the entire app, reinstall it, sign back in, and I haven't had an issue since. So those are the steps I would take for app issues. And that leads into my 9th Amazon Relay tip, which is if you cannot get the app working correctly after signing in and out and deleting and then reinstalling, go into the app and request a callback. It's a feature in the Relay app where you can request a callback, and they're pretty quick about calling you back. Usually it may be within 5 minutes or so. So they're pretty good about calling you back, so if you're able to, that'll lead into my, 10th tip, my final tip. If you do have to contact Relay support, there may be speech/communication issues. Okay, I talked to support on 3 different occasions, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I couldn't understand 95% of what the tech support person said. I just literally could not make out. I tried to the best of my ability, and I could not understand 95% of what she was saying. So you running into app issues, you call tech support, we're on a time frame, and I can't understand anything that the tech support specialist is saying. So that's my 10th tip. Expect communication issues if you call tech support, if you must do so, because I talked to 3 different reps, and yes, each time I just couldn't make out what they were saying. So that's my 10th Amazon Relay tip. Expect communication issues with tech support. And just as an extra, bonus tip, I'm going to just throw this in there for you guys that are starting out. Just do your best. Expect hiccups, within your first couple trips, first few weeks with Amazon Relay. Amazon Relay itself, the process is not perfect. The app is not perfect. We are not perfect. So if you run into a situation where you have a hiccup, or you make a mistake, or you're, kind of late for a load, man, don't beat yourself up about it. It's not the end of the world. You know, as long as you don't get yourself completely suspended for something serious, then, you know, I wouldn't too much worry about it. I would just, you know, do my best, you know, be on time and stick with it. Because starting out with Amazon Relay, like I said, I've been through 5 trips now. It has been a challenge, I see. And I had one trip that had a couple hiccups, but I'm just telling you, it has been a challenge trying to stay on top of everything that you need to stay on top of when starting out with Amazon Relay. They expect you to be perfect when the process, their app, and, you know, their employees aren't. So it's just kind of the name of the game. You know, you got to come and, you know, do what you got to do to, you know, get through the process. So with that being said, I ain't going to hold you guys much longer. You know, I just wanted to get this out here because I know a lot of you guys are starting with Amazon Relay and y'all, you know, kind of, you know, want a heads up on, you know, how to be successful. So with this video, this should give you guys a, you know, great jump start. So keep liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. You know, more content coming like this in the near future. You know, it's Midwest Box Trucking. We here to stay. You know, y'all stay safe out there. Take it easy and have a good one. Appreciate you.